The little cub just wanted some milk, but his mother slapped him hard across the face. Watching his siblings feast without him, he couldn't understand why his mother treated him this way. Who could have imagined that this frail little cub, barely able to walk, would become an unstoppable force on the savannah just 5 years later? He wasn't just a legend of his era, but a symbol of resilience and power. During his reign, he completely dominated the hyenas, killing over 100 of them with his own claws. That's right, he's the one they call the hyena killer. Antoine Dumoulin. When Dumoulin was born, he was unusually small, often becoming the target of bullying by other cubs. Chasing and play fighting is essential training for young males. When they grow up, they'll become each other's strongest allies. But Dumoulin was like a ghost among them. He longed to fit in, but all he got in return was their cold indifference. Over time, whenever they played, Dumoulin would sit alone at the edge of the pride. He thought life would just go on like this forever. But one day, a crisis shattered his quiet existence. That day, Dumoulin woke up suddenly from his sleep. The familiar scent of his pride was gone. He looked around frantically, but his family was nowhere to be found. Without the pride's protection, he had no chance of survival. Dumoulin had to find them before sunset. It was his only hope. As the moon rose over Botswana's night sky, a silvery veil descended upon the savannah. A tiny figure was still desperately calling out for his family, but his faint cries sounded dangerously loud in this treacherous night. A hippo weighing nearly 3 tons was slowly lumbering by. Luckily, this vegetarian paid little attention to the little cub. But the danger was far from over. Soft footsteps were approaching from behind. Lions and leopards are sworn enemies. If one finds the other's cub, they'll kill it without hesitation. This leopard had clearly heard Dumoulin's cries. As the distance between them closed, the leopard locked onto his position. Even when a civet crossed its path, the leopard didn't break focus. Just as the leopard was about to strike, the hippo suddenly charged at it. The hippo wasn't trying to save Dumoulin. It simply despised leopards. The little cub had no idea he'd just cheated death by sheer luck. But the sudden commotion caught Dumoulin's attention. Dragging his exhausted body, he set off once again. Fortunately, fate hadn't abandoned this poor little cub. Dumoulin managed to find his pride. But what awaited him wasn't a warm welcome. A sub-adult male spotted him. He batted Dumoulin around with his paws, like he'd found a new toy to play with. Soon, 2 more males joined in. Dumoulin tried to escape, but his tiny body was no match for 3 sub-adult males. He was tossed around like a rag doll. Just as his consciousness began to fade, his mother happened to arrive. The little cub grabbed onto his only lifeline and scrambled to her side. Seeing their fun little toy slip away, the 3 males refused to give up and chased after him. Watching her cub being treated like this, his mother erupted with rage. She lunged at the ringleader. Surrounded by his mother's familiar scent, his tension finally melted away. Dumoulin thought the nightmare was finally over. Little did he know, the real ordeal was just beginning. The next morning, when he woke up, he discovered that one of his legs wouldn't work properly. His hip and spine had been fractured, possibly from the beating he took the night before. To heal, he desperately needed nutrition. He limped over to his mother. But when he tried to nurse, she coldly pushed him away. In desperation, Dumoulin turned to his aunt for help, but she just stood up indifferently and walked away with the pride. The little cub couldn't understand why all the love had vanished overnight. What he didn't know was that in a lion pride, mothers sometimes abandon weak cubs to ensure the survival of stronger offspring. When the pride moved on, Dumoulin was left far behind. Watching his family disappear, he knew that if he lost touch with the pride, he would surely die. His only choice was to keep moving on his injured leg. After what felt like forever, he finally caught up when the pride stopped to rest, but he still wasn't welcomed by his family. Before he could even catch his breath, his mother set off again. The little cub grew weaker and weaker, and his leg was getting worse. Without food or water for so long, even walking in a straight line had become a struggle. But none of this earned him even a shred of pity from his mother. Demella knew he couldn't give up. His survival instincts pushed him to keep going. But even after catching up again, his mother rejected him once more. Demella was starving. He had no idea what he'd done wrong, or why his mother was treating him this way. He Saturday there helplessly, trying his best to look like a good cub, hoping for just a taste of milk after his siblings finished. But reality dealt him another crushing blow. He stumbled toward his mother, only for her paw to come down hard on his head. The pride arrived at a water-filled gully. The adult males were gulping down water, but for Dumoulin, this gully might as well have been an impossible chasm. Suddenly, ripples disturbed the water's surface. A pair of murky eyes fixed on Dumoulin at the top of the slope. Driven by his will to survive, the little cub gathered his courage and inched down the slope. But after just a few steps, he got stuck. At this critical moment, a figure suddenly appeared. His mother came toward him, keeping her eyes locked on the crocodile in the water. With her help, the little cub was finally rescued. He got his first drink of water in 2 days. Perhaps his fierce will to live and refusal to quit had touched his mother's heart. When he hesitantly approached her belly again, this time she didn't push him away. Warm milk flowed into his mouth, bringing hope for life and long overdue acceptance. Though it was brief, that feeding meant everything to Demella.